Hey everyone, this is Leatherass with dragthebar.com. Today we've got 4 tables of 6Max no limit at 25.50 cent. And here on table 3 we got some pretty deep stacks, which is kind of nice. Little Faith Esal has $80. Matilda Ma is sitting out, has like a triple or quadruple stack, and then Tal Rushi has, over a triple, almost quadruple stack. So here we get a limper. We're here with 610 suited. I'm going to go ahead and raise it up. I label the tables 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the purposes of describing which table the action is going at. So Gearto Meow, right before I got the video going, is one of these guys that bluffs and shows, and you can tell he's definitely like wanting to outplay me because he sees the Team Poker Stars thing or whatever. So we'll have to not give some of his bets a lot of credit, and I'm just gonna call him because I don't, I'm sure I have plenty of equity to call, and I'm not gonna let him push me around entirely. So when you catch a club or a queen or a jack. So we don't do it, and he gets all my money, and that's the way it goes. But I think my call is fine. I mean, I have 2 overs and a flush draw. I mean, I'm just not going to fold, and I put him on some type of hand that didn't want action. I mean, I thought some of the times I might be good there when he just has a straight draw or something like that. So he could have like he could have all kinds of stuff. I mean, he could have just like a random 5 or 6 or a club draw or something, but I'm not going to let him just completely run me over. So have to let him know that I'm not going to be inclined to fold too many hands against him. So he instantly gave his stack back there with the kings, which not his fault. He played the hand fine. We get pocket 8s here on table 3. We're just going to go ahead and open it up. And Droney Russ posts, so that should add a little action to the table. And here at the ace-9, I'm going to go ahead and float in position. Just going to kind of play the power position here and go ahead and just try an ISO, or just try and steal all the money there like we just did on table 2. Gearto doesn't seem strong. We got the guy who just posted, so seems like a good spot to just try and take it down. Looks like we have somebody at the table who knows who I am. So here with on table 2, we'll call here with King Queen. He's definitely the type of guy I want to be inclined to get involved with. And here with the ace deuce suited, probably tossing a call here, getting a pretty good price. So don't flop much, we'll just let it go. And I'll just take a little stab because everyone checked here, the king queen. And here at the 8s, I'll just call pretty much just for set value. And don't flop a great hand. And I'll call here at the ace-9 suited because we had position in the hand. And a lot of times guys don't like their flops and they give up, and I can just bet and take it down. So we'll go ahead and fold the king queen now. It's possible, he had some random 8 or jack 10 or something like that, but we'll let him have it. That's his thing. He just likes to get all the money in. He likes to have some equity. Just smart. It's not necessarily tragic, but I wouldn't recommend it. So he's asked me why I'm playing here. I just like to be straight up with him. So I'll just type in here and let him know. Sure, that'll probably induce him playing back at me a little bit more than he might otherwise. So here we have a limper, and I'm just going to go ahead and raise it up here. We got a perfectly good hand. One guy writes in, he four-tabled Dur, and now look where he is. That four-tabling Dur would send a lot of people to 25-50 cent. I have not four-tabled Dur. I have a brain in my head, so I've opted not to do that in my career. And here at the Ace-Jack, I'll just play it like the nuts. I'll bet the flop, and if he raises, I'll just get all the money in. Don't expect a lot of action. I mean, it'll look pretty strong, and that type of flop, you know, he's not going to want to get too excited about. King Jack offsuit here. We're going to go ahead and raise it up pre-flop. Just try and take down the money again here with 5-9 suited. We'll just go ahead and open. Got a fairly weak player, so we'll probably try and take advantage of that. Here at Jack 8 suited, might be a slightly loose open, but we're going to go ahead and open it anyway. So flop a. I'm just going to keep doing it here with the King 4 suited, or the King 4 offsuit on table 2. I mean, if they're going to keep doing that, I might as well keep doing it. And here I don't flop good, but my hand looks pretty darn. Excuse me. My hand looks like it could be pretty strong. And now he leads out, so I feel like he has like a weak ace, and he's like scared, and so he just wants to like hope I don't raise him and make a small bet. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise him, and just hope to take him off the hand. So he quickly folded. So when guys lead out like that, they typically aren't very strong. Here at the ace 3, I'll just go ahead and re-raise him and just apply the pressure to him. And 10-9 on table 3. So he quickly called, so I don't think he had like a big decision, like, you know, with kings or aces or anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a bet on the flop and hope to take it down right here. So he quickly called, but, you know, I don't think he would just quickly call the flush draw. So that card's got to look real nasty to him. Now hopefully he doesn't have a hand like Queen Jack of Diamonds and just check raises and goes with it. So I'm going to continue my bluff, and hopefully I can get him to lay down, you know, a one pair type of hand. So got a good turn card for bluffing, so thought I'd take advantage of that, and I'll just pop it up again here with the King 5. So it's definitely a real critical element of playing these stakes, is to take advantage of people that play super passive, like some of this guy and like some of these guys do. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and make a large bet just to kind of discourage him from playing back at me light. It's not the type of board where he's going to check shove with a lot of draws, because there just aren't many draws out there. And so here at the A7, I'll go ahead and float in position. And we'll continue it with the Queen 8 here. And we get called this time. We flop real bad. He might be getting kind of sick of me. So I'm actually going to take a break here and just go ahead and check fold. He could play back real light. I'm sure he's getting ready to do that. So it's a good time to maybe take a little break. Here we flop. I'm going to call with ace deuce, because this guy gives me really good implied odds because he plays crazy. So he might do something dumb. So here with the ace 7, I'll probably just go ahead and float him with the overcard and backdoor flush, and also because he can you know, give up a lot on the turn, and then I can just hopefully take it away with like a $5 bet or something. So we're kind of playing our position, and so it works out for us okay. So at the ace deuce, I mean, they both checked. I'm on the button. Might as well just put the heat on them, and hopefully they fold, which they do. And here with the ace jack, I don't like floating so much. I'd rather float with the ace 7 suited like I did. It also, his raise came from a little earlier position, so he might be a little stronger. And I'm just going to go ahead and fold the hand. And here at the ace jack, it's sort of unlikely that someone will have a hand on this board. 7-7 deuce, so I'm just going to go ahead and make a continuation bet into two people and hope to take it down. You get quickly called. I think this is the type of board I'll just continue to fire and hopefully just get him to lay it down. I mean, it's going to be a tough call for him with 2 7s on the board, so I'm probably just going to keep betting and hopefully he'll get rid of his hand. I'm sure he'll probably pop me here on the turn if he does have a 7. Which he does, so I was just kind of hoping I can get him to lay down, a flush draw or, some hand like pocket 5s or something like that. The plan was to fire all 3 streets there if he didn't raise. So, just basically I figure by the end of the river, if he doesn't have a 7, he's eventually going to get rid of the hand. So now we have an actual hand, and we almost flop a little too well because there's not much for him to have there on that board, but we'll just bet it anyway and hope he does have something. So here with the 10s, I'm just going to go ahead and call and play a little poker with him post-flop. I may have to go with it on a board like that, given that his range for stealing is going to be pretty wide, or for squeezing, and just say, hey, if you have a hand that can beat this, then that's just the way it is. So we're going to drag the bar over and shove it all in. So he folds. There really isn't a whole heck of a lot of plays you can make there. I don't like calling because just so many nasty cards come. So, and it's not inconceivable he can look you up with worse either. So, and here I'm just going to have to go with the hand. I mean, I've been super active. I flop, top pair second kicker. I'm just going to have to drag the bar over again and hope to get some action we want. So here with the 10s, I'm just going to go ahead and make a raise that pot commits me against him, but in case EZ wakes up with a big hand, I don't want to overcommit myself, so I just make it 5. And so he calls, which is kind of odd. It looks like he's intent to outplay me, or at least he wants to, because he's claiming he bluffed me on the last hand. So go ahead and raise him here, or excuse me, bet into him and kind of see what's going on. So he min raises on the flop. It's just kind of a brutal spot because there shouldn't be a lot of jacks in his range. He shouldn't really have any of these hands, but the problem is if I come back over and get called, I'm just crushed. He could be trapping. It's really tough to say. This is just kind of a really sick spot. But I think I'm going to have to just fold here. If he bluffs me, he bluffs me. So here I flop 2 pair with Jack 9, and I'm going to go ahead and bet it out. Definitely a vulnerable flop. Really not all that sad about not getting any action there. So I think what we'll do here, because he's so inclined to bluff, is I'll just check back and I'll call any turn or any river, and just try and get the showdown against him. you know, if he has full house on this board, then, well, he does. So, you know, what can you do? Here I flop some sevens, so we'll hope we get that same type of action as the last time the board was 7-7 deuce, but not to be. I think it's just about a poker player's favorite thing in life to try and bluff when they know they're on videos. It's definitely a pretty big element, and he seems to want to play most pots against me, so, you know, just have to adjust accordingly. So we get 3-bet, and you know, it's just not a strong hand, but you know, we're four-handed right here. So I'm going to go ahead and call out a position, but only because I feel like his range is so super wide. I would normally not do that. So flop 8-8-8. And here at the ace-4, we'll just go ahead and follow up the continuation bet. So not a really good flop. We're hoping to flop some equity because I'm certainly willing to you know, go to the mat with a lot of hands. And here I'm going to go ahead and squeeze with the king-jack. And I'll just fold the king-jack there on table 1. And we'll just take the showdown here with ace-high and hope it's good. So pocket threes. Weren't really going to bluff him off that hand, so I think I played it fine. So king-jack offsuit on table 4. We'll go ahead and open that under the gun. It's about the worst, one of the worst hands I'll open with under the gun, but I definitely think it's worthwhile opening. So we'll fold the ace-5 here and button. So I don't really understand EZ's call. I think he just wants to play every pot for the video. You know, and the guy only has $8. He should be pretty much shoving them in or folding. So it'll be interesting to see what he's calling down here with. I hope it goes to showdown. So king 8, so he didn't play his draw too aggressively there, and it looks like it cost him the pot because had he check raised that flop, he could have got him off that jack, I'm sure. So here at king 8 suited, I'll go ahead and open. And I'll go ahead and just make the ISO play I've been making, or the raise I've been making here at the 6-10. I mean, it's been working really well, so I might as well just keep doing it. They don't seem to be adjusting. Ace-10 offsuit, I'll go ahead and just fold to a early position raise there. I tend to feel that you know, playing those types of hands, you find yourself often too dominated by hands that you know, if you flop an ace, you just can't play it too confidently. If you flop a 10, you're fearing an overpair. You flop an ace, you're fearing ace-jack through ace-king. It's just not a hand you can play confidently, and so I tend to just want to fold it pre-flop. So at some point you got to think he's going to like limp re-raise or do something. So we flop flush draw, and so we'll just play it aggressively. And if he check raises, I'll just ship it in. So we get a call by a guy with $3, which is kind of interesting. I guess we have 2 overcards. We'll just put the money in. Hope he folds. So wow, I mean, definitely doesn't have a whole lot of clue on what he's doing. He's calling raises with $3 and folding. Amazing how you even get down to $3 at this table. We'll fold 70, especially since we have such an under the gun, or excuse me, aggressive player to the left of me. And so Jack 8 will definitely fold there. And here at 10-7 we don't have much, but we have a scary board for him, so I'll just follow with a continuation bet. And I'm not going to try and like get him to fold an ace, so I'm just going to give up now. So they're at the 7-6 on table 3, or excuse me, table 2. I'll go ahead and open. Table 3, I'll just fold. I don't think I can ever bluff him off anything there. So we get re-raised, and people haven't been re-raising a lot, so we'll just give it credit. And we'll open 7-4 from the cutoff. Against a table that's going to play passive and straightforward like that, and especially when you know in advance you're going to flop 3 4s, I dialed that in with Poker Stars right there, and they accommodated me, fortunately. God, wouldn't that be nice if I could do that? You think like maybe if you become like a Team Poker Stars pro, you're going to find out all these tricks, or you're going to have some like, you know, maybe you'll start running good or something like that, but there's really no trick to it. You just get a little star next to your name and your picture up there. Here with the ace king off, I'm going to go ahead and raise pre-flop on table 3, and we'll certainly be willing to get the money in if anybody wants to fight back. So we get a caller, and we get kind of a nasty flop here. I mean, I guess I can just bet because people are a little passive here, but you get check raised so often at higher limits on these types of boards. But I'll just continuation bet, and maybe I'll take it down here. Maybe if not, I'll you know, spike an ace or a king and improve. We don't. It's gonna be hard to get him to fold, even though, you know, he's not going to give me credit for 7 very much, and I'm just going to basically give up on this pot. So if I'd known that was his hand, I'd have kept bluffing. You know, that's like basically the absolute bottom of his range on the flop, and of the hands he could be peeling with. And so, you know, we can't get results oriented and say, hey, you know, we could have easily bluffed him off that pot, because that's the bottom of his range, and he's not going to have that every time. So Queen 10 suited, pretty standard open there on table 3. And we flop a double gutter. So I'll go ahead and start by betting. And we get a fold. So we have a poster here, so we're going to be looking to try and steal this pot if no one raises. And I was going to say, in fact, if he raises, I'll probably come back over the top, because he's probably just trying to steal it. So put the heat on and make him have a hand, you know, which he will have sometimes, but prefer to at least make him have it. And this flop's actually not bad. I mean, I flop a pair, but also, against my range, he's going to be fearing a king a lot. Now he might have one himself, and then he'll go with the hand, I'm sure. But it's usually a pretty good flop where your continuation bets work pretty often. And here I'll 3-bet with 8-7 suited, just getting pretty active here on table 4. And so our c-bet works there with ace-8, which is nice. Always nice to have an 8 too, because it doesn't eliminate, but it does remove one possible pair he could have, or set he could have. Makes it much less likely he's going to ever have pocket 8s. We get 3-bet with ace-10 suited. He's done this before, so we're going to call, maybe look to raise some flops that we think we might be able to push him off. And that's not a great one. I mean, I could raise and make him have a king, which is an option. It's not a bad one. He checks, which, like, I don't know why he wouldn't just bet if he had a hand, but I mean, he might be trying to trap me, but I can't help myself. I'm going to make a bet and try and take it down. Yeah, so he'd check raise, so we'll just give it to him. Probably should have stuck with my original read there. Here with the Queen Jack suited, I'll go ahead and open. Uh, 7-4, 3-4, easy folds. So we get pocket 9s here on table 2, and ace jack on table 1. We'll raise both those up. And no action. I wish the games at 5, 10, and 10, 20 played a little more like this. This would be kind of fun. Guys over there are so aggressive, you just can't get away with everything. Everybody's knows what everyone's doing for the most part, and so it can get a little crazy and a little tough, but kind of a fun challenge. So with ace queen, we're gonna have to go with this hand here. It's plenty of hand to go with pre-flop against a cutoff raise. And king 9 suited, even with position against none of the gun raise, I'd prefer not to play it. Queen jack here, we're only 5-handed, so I'll go ahead and open it. I'll fold it on table 3, but on table 4 I'll go ahead and open it. This is the limit I started playing at when I made the switch to no limit. Actually, I think I started at 50 cents a dollar. Played limit hold'em for 05 and part of 06. So I played about a year and a half. I guess only about a year professionally. Played limit hold'em and pretty much just made the bonuses. Which back then there was like a billion sites you could play on, and you had net teller and you could move money around real easily. So you could transfer money out of a site in a few hours. It would be a NetTeller account. Then you'd transfer it on to another site and you could just chase all the bonuses. There was like, 100 different poker rooms then, and everybody was always running some great bonus every day. And I'd basically just play poker until I cleared the bonus and then move on to the next site. And it was kind of a big deal when I got enough bankroll to like actually not have to wait the 6 hours for it to process in NetTeller, and I could move on to the next site and without having to have any downtime. So I just kind of grinded out the bonuses, did all that, switched to no limit, started at 50 cent, $1, maybe a little at 25, 50 cent, and within about a year was able to move up to the high stakes games from there. But we all kind of start off here. I'll get to the action here on King Jack. I raised pre-flop and he's betting out now, which it could be BS. My king high could be good sometimes, but I'm just gonna give him credit here. Basically, just standard button raise and flop bet, just figuring he probably doesn't have much of that, but it looks like he might have had a little, so got away from it. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you want to just keep plugging away. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to watch my video and make 100K the next day or something. Like, you have to just keep watching, grinding in the forums, working on your game, and enough work. There's a pretty strong likelihood, in my opinion, that you'll get there. It's just a matter of putting it in. And I talk about that a lot in my book, Treat Your Poker Like a Business. I talk about how the lobby in these poker rooms is quite similar to like going to school. I mean, you start at like 1-2 cent, just trying to learn poker, and that's kind of like preschool, and then you maybe get to the 25, 50 cent. This might be like junior high or something, and then you make it through high school, and hopefully you wind up with your PhD up there playing with for the big bucks. So that's kind of the way I look at it, is you just want to kind of play where you belong in the beginning and take the gamble out of it, which is a big element. And a lot of people just go, oh man, I can't play 1-2 cent. I mean, what am I going to do, win $3 on a good day? And yeah, that's probably right, but you're not going to lose much either. And it's not, you're not going to get rich at any of these stakes, but at the lower limits. But if you keep putting in the work and just kind of develop these little ladders for yourself, and these you want to look at each limit as like a step up, and you're moving up a grade, and don't worry about trying to make money at it. It's kind of like going to school. Just be glad you don't have to pay a $30,000 tuition. You get to pay $30 a month to a site like Drag the Bar, which is pretty much about the greatest deal ever, and you can get your education that way on the cheap, and then make money that a lot of college grads couldn't make if you make it all the way through the ladder. So it's a pretty good deal. You get to make the money that would make college grads envious, but without having to put in the nearly, you don't have to put in 17 years of school, and you don't have to pay massive amounts of money educating yourself. So poker's actually a pretty good deal. So if you do it the right way. But if you try and gamble and get bummed out because you're not playing with Patrick Antonius right away, then you can get a little frustrated. But if you do it the right way, it's a pretty good deal. So here at King 3, I'll just take a little stab because it seems like nobody wants it, and maybe they'll just fold. So looks like they do. and we'll play out the free hands for the video, and then we'll then it's off to the forums to discuss the video with me, which there'll be a thread up, and if you go to the forums and go in under coaching videos and find the thread that corresponds with this video, and you can ask me anything you want. And you know, I'm not necessarily on there on the forums, you know, every day, but I do get to all the questions in time, and hopefully you guys will join me in there, and we can talk a little poker, talk about this this video and some of the situations we've gotten in. So I hope to see you guys there in the forums, and definitely hit me up there. And until then, good luck at the tables.